I have the opportunity now to award the 2020 YEHUDI Guest of Honor, Gary J. Yarus. I think the best way to describe Gary Yarus is a 20-year-old in a 50-year-old's body. Sorry, it was 51 this year, correct? 50. Gary, you got spunk, you got fire, you got passion, you got vision, and Gary, you got a huge heart. It's not just your financial support of YEHUDI that you give, but you give your time, you give your talent, you give of yourself. It wasn't good enough for you just to watch a video about YEHUDI. You said, YEHUDI's doing some magic in this world. I'm going to travel to Poland to see it with my own eyes. And all the students there would refer to him as Gary the Elder, because he was constantly providing wisdom. How many countless nights Gary's had with the YEHUDI leadership, discussing budgets, boards, programs, fundraising, this, that. Hands-on, comes, he spends time with the students. When he walks into a YEHUDI on a Friday night, the room just busts into a dynamite eruption of Gary excitement and energy. Gary is one of the key people who enabled YEHUDI to be able to purchase the YEHUDI Hub in the heart of Miami Beach. And I'm gonna end with how it all started. 5 years ago, brand new to this town, and someone said, hey, you guys wanna do anything Jewish related in this town? There's somebody we must speak to. His name is Gary Yarus. And I vividly remember my first call to Mr. Yarus. He picks up the phone after listening to the Verizon tone. Mr. Yarus, it's Stillerman. I would love to talk to you about the Jewish future of Florida. Can you possibly meet for a few minutes, maybe this week? And Gary says, well, you caught me in a really bad time. I was just in Cleveland. I'm in Chicago now. I'm headed to Boston. And I'm like, oh no. About to apologize, about to hang up the phone, because I've heard this before. But what Gary said then shocked me. But today, it's no shock at all, because I realize that these are exactly the words you would hear from a man who has a heart the size of this building. Gary says, listen, next Thursday night, I'll be arriving in Miami Beach International at about 12 o'clock. If it's the Jewish people, if it's the Jewish future that you want to discuss, meet me at the airport at midnight. I drove to the airport at midnight. I picked up Gary, and our conversation that started in MIA, which continued to the early hours of the morning with some scotch in Gary Yarus' living room, now continues and continues, and has continued for 5 years. It is my sincere privilege and opportunity to award YEHUDI's 2020 Guest of Honor to Mr. Gary J. Yarus. Please give him a warm round of applause as he comes to the stage. One step this way. Okay. Look at the camera. I read to you the inscription. YEHUDI 5th Anniversary Gala presented to Gary Yarus, Guest of Honor. who brings to life the words of the Talmud, be among the students of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing peace, loving people and bringing them closer to the Torah. Loving peace, pursuing peace, loving people. If this is not Gary Yarus, what is?
Thank you so much. It's amazing.
Look at that.
Wow. Great. Now what do I do? Put this down. I go here. Wow. Thank you again. I mean, I'm speechless. Maybe I should just say thank you very much. It's been great. See ya. Well, I'm honored to be honored by YEHUDI. With your continued support, and your being here tonight shows us that you support us, YEHUDI's become a dynamic, vibrant force in the Miami area. I came here single at 32 years old, and I had a job offer after my MBA, freshly minted, at Pepsi-Cola. It took me 5 years to connect with the Jewish community. I mean, I moved to Fontainebleau, and I went to the Pepsi plant, and then I moved to Kendall, because they said Jewish people lived in Kendall. I mean, it was a long journey before I connected. And now, it's not that way. When Jewish young professionals come here, we're greeted. YEHUDI has 6 locations, astounding rabbis and great rabbinic families, and they reach out and make people feel welcome and make people feel part of the Jewish community. Amazing, amazing. They have a devoted staff. I mean, my office is not far from theirs. So from time to time, if I want to get cheered up, I walk over to the YEHUDI building and I just watch what's going on. And these people are loving and they care and they're reaching out. And to me, this is what building a community is all about. You know, it's so important. Today, I just got back from APAC, and I was there listening to what's going on. And with 70% of millennials marrying out, we need energy and we need focus, and that's exactly what YEHUDI does. When I met Shlomo Stillman, he talked a little bit about it, but I met him and we had a 10-minute conversation, and I was just impressed. Adina, his wife, who I knew since she was a little girl, introduced me, and he had just come from England and he was doing amazing things there and wanted to bring them here. So we had a 10-minute conversation. He said, "Are you busy next week?" And I said, "Well, I'm always busy. Those of you that know me know I'm like busy all the time." I said, "Well, yeah, I'm busy." He says, "Well, maybe you could just come with us to Israel and to Poland and to Rome, just for a week." I mean, I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe it that I said yes. So that was the beginning. I sat on a bus. By the way, when they go, and they're learning and they're studying. And I was called Gary the Elder because I was the old guy that was sleeping on the bus. I slept on the bus, and this was my thing. But they wake me up at all the relevant moments, and I really, really understood what was going on, and the learning and the energy, and that was YEHUDI. And man, that got me involved, and that got me to want to be part of their building. That got me to wanting to build the community and do everything I can to make it happen. And now you see, we have the YEHUDI Hub, we have 6 rabbis and their families, and it's growing, it's going. And this is what it's about. This is how we connect with the next generation. So I'm honored to be here. I'm honored that you're here with me. We're all being honored to support an organization like YEHUDI. Thank you so much.